Hello. Welcome to Dudes at the Movies Talk Show. I'm your host, Mason Justick, alongside with my co-host,
Gavin Murphy. This is our first episode on the channel, so I want to give a quick rundown on what we plan to be doing here in the future. We'll be doing movie reviews, movie rankings, movie news, and live reactions. Today we're starting off with the road to Tenet. Christopher Nolan's 2020 film called Tenet is supposed to release in the US on September 4th. Our goal is to rewatch all 11 of his movies building up to Tenet.
And today, for our first film, we will be doing Christopher Nolan's debut film, Following, which released in 1998. It is about a young, lonely man who stalks strangers around the streets of London and is drawn into the criminal underworld. It stars Jeremy Theobald, Alex Haw, and Lucy Russell.
So let's get right into a review.
All right, Gavin, so what did you like about the movie?
Well, it starts off, it was pretty cool to see Christopher Nolan's first movie, his roots. Definitely, you could tell it's like his first one, it's low budget. But I do like the story. I like how it's simple, but also pretty big, with some great twists in there. I'll leave it spoiler free. I like the characters as it builds. It starts off with our unnamed character throughout the whole entire movie.
The young man.
Yeah, the young man. It just shows, it gives a nice start off with just a writer following people wanting to make stories out of something until he follows the wrong person and then gets into more stuff with that wrong person. I don't know. You agree with that?
Yeah.
It was pretty cool to see that. I like the story going down with that. Pretty good acting for the most part. I like that. Both the two leads, I think you said it was Jeremy Theobald and Alex Haw, they do a really good job. I like to see it. What do you have to say?
Well, I'd like to comment on the acting for such a low-budget movie.
Pretty
this
good.
This is his first one.
Yeah.
So, the budget was around $6,000 US.
Which is hardly anything.
Which is like...
to make a movie. So.
Yeah, so... And it was cool. This was like Nolan's first film.
Yeah.
And now he's like a blockbuster film director. So like all his budgets are like $100 million above. This was just cool seeing. This is just his style, and it was like he can do this with $6,000 or like $100 million.
Yeah,
I think that was cool. The way he writes, he's a good writer,
and
I liked how everything unfolded.
Yeah,
that was really cool. And I feel like as a movie, as a feature film, it's not the most exciting, but I think for
the roots.
And I feel like filmmakers, this would be a good movie to watch if you're like interested in making film, because he made it with nothing.
Yeah.
We could have made this movie, and it's just so cool that he just took what he had and just made it really good.
Like you said, for some people, the action, it's not the best. You see movies that he does in Inception, it's not Inception level. But it's still, you gotta think, for what he had, it was still pretty cool to see what he made out of it.
Exactly, and I think you can stand these films with his other ones, unlike other directors where their first films were just kind of crap. I feel like this one holds up.
This one sticks.
And it's only an hour and 10 minutes long, which is really short.
That's okay. One thing I would have liked to see is just a bigger runtime, and I know it's something he can't, it was hard to work with, but it would have been cool to see an expanded story.
I agree. I think it could have worked as I don't know. I feel like he could have made it. If he made it today, I feel like it still would have been. It would have been 10 times better.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like an exciting. It's not like Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Or,
it's not something that when you say the name of Christopher Nolan, you say, "Oh, Following." No, but when you look at Christopher Nolan deeper into his history and you watch Following, you're like, it's just something cool to see for where he started. Anything else you want to say about the good?
No, we can move on what didn't work for us.
All right, well, you start with that.
Well, I don't know about you, but everything kind of felt zoomed in.
Yeah.
It was very I don't know, I guess his camera wasn't that good, but that's it's a bad complaint, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like I said, it's not very exciting and it's low budget. That's it's for what it is, I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
But if you stand it with other movies, because this did come out in theaters.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't compare it to The Dark Knight or Inception.
Yeah.
But for an average moviegoer, you don't need to see this.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. If you're, like you said earlier, it was if you're looking into film and you want to watch this movie, definitely do it because it's great to see what he uses and how he makes the most of what he had. But it's just something that, like, it's not everything you want in a film. I mean, there's just some parts where it's like, I don't know how to word it, but it's just, you know, what he had. I mean,
exactly.
You can't ask for so much for what he had.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to see more, but I know he couldn't do it. I know one thing, it sometimes came up, it wasn't always in there, was the shaky cam. And the shaky cam was like one thing that I didn't like in it. And I know later in these movies like Batman Begins, he used the shaky cam a lot for like the action scenes. Sometimes it just didn't look good. The shaky cam, it felt a little weird. Not as like, you know, focused and centralized on like what was actually happening. But it's not like the biggest nag. Like it's not something where, oh, I hate the shaky cam, so I'm gonna hate this movie. No, I didn't really. It was just something to nag on. It's just a small little thing. Yeah,
I agree. So, in conclusion, The Following, it's a good film. It's a good film. It's cool to see Nolan at his beginning, you know, and what this movie is what made him, you know, move on to like Memento and Insomnia, and then which made him go to the Dark Knight trilogy, and now he's
one of the best directors of all time.
You go to the movies for him, not the actors.
Yeah,
and it's just cool seeing how far he's come.
It's just like we've been saying the whole entire video. It's just the roots were one of the coolest things to watch about this movie, to know what he had and what he made out of it, and that this was what pushed him to become one of the best directors of all time.
Yeah, it's like Martin Scorsese's Mean Streets.
Yeah,
you know, like that wasn't great. That's how I compare it to.
Yeah,
it's just low budget.
It wasn't the best
what
movie.
He knows.
Yeah, he just made the most out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and it's a pretty kick-ass movie.
Yeah. My final score, I give it a 7 out of 10, which is on our good scale. Mason?
I agree, 7 out of 10. You know, it's a good movie for what it is, but it's nothing you have to go see.
Yeah.
All
right, well, thank you for tuning in to our first episode. Thank you for also watching The Road to Tenet. Our next film will be Memento, starring Guy Pearce. I've seen it before. Mason?
I've yet to see it, but I will.
It'll be his first time watching, so we will give a very good review. And, I think that's a send-off from here. Thank you for watching Dudes at the Movies. Make sure you guys subscribe, share this, and, see ya.
See ya.